Welcome to Jazz Time. JazzTime.com is an online store that buys, sells, trades authentic luxury watches. We make these videos so our customers can easily choose the best watch for themselves in the comfort of their own home. If you like this watch and would like to purchase at the lowest price anywhere online, click on the link in the description below to buy it at JazzTime.com. Today, I'll be reviewing the Rolex Sky-Dweller in yellow gold with a green dial on an Oysterflex bracelet, reference 336238. I'll tell you a little bit about the history of the Sky-Dweller, then I'll tell you about the case, bezel, dial, bracelet movement, finally try it on and give you my thoughts. So let's just start with just a little brief overview. The Sky-Dweller has not been around for all that long, around a little bit over 10 years now. It's the most complicated, actually one of the most complicated, I guess it wouldn't be the most complicated, but it's one of the most complicated, right up there with their day date, and it's one of the most complicated watches, and it's one of the most newly released watches. The day date's been around for 50 years. The date just been around for 70 years. Or did I say date just? I said day date. Day date's been around for 60, 70 years. And the Submariner, GMT, a lot of those have been around for 50, 60, 70 years. The Sky-Dweller is a new addition to their collection. And it is an annual calendar. That means you only need to change it one time every February, when it's either a leap year or not. And it so it's quite a complicated watch, and it actually also has a GMT hand in it, or GMT disc, I should say. But at any rate, it's been around for quite some time, or not quite some time, only around 10 plus years. And they just recently did a new variation of it, although I can't really say it's much that new. It looks exactly the same. They changed the reference number, and before it was 326, now it's 336, and the reason is because the movement has changed. They over the past 10 years, they figured out, a few bugs here and there that they needed to improve upon, and which they did. Okay, so with that said, where does this watch stand in the lineup? Well, on Oysterflex, the only watches that deserve or can get an Oysterflex bracelet, which is just basically rubber bracelet, are those that are made in precious metal, either white gold, rose gold, or yellow gold. This one's in yellow gold, and this is a new dial for the 2020, either 4 or 5, I can't remember, but one of those year, and it is the green dial. So naturally, as you can imagine, either the blue or the green dial are the most sought after, and the green dial on Oysterflex is actually the most sought after one. And it's not hard to see why, because this green dial really pops. It really it's outstanding dial. Okay, now with that said, time to start talking about the watch, starting with the case. The case is 42 millimeters, and it's the biggest of the Datejust style watches. Now, I kind of call this the Datejust 42 because it's basically the same as the Datejust 41, except it's 42 millimeters, and it's a little bit larger, and it's a little bit more complicated, but more or less it looks the same, which is not a bad thing, because the Datejust is a very iconic watch, and it's done super duper well. Okay, and the case, as I said, is all made of yellow gold. They make it also in white gold and rose gold, but what you're looking at here is yellow gold, and you have it's a little bit thick, to be honest. It's around, I would say, 13 millimeters, or maybe even more than that. It's quite thick. It's definitely thicker than the Datejust, but it's to be expected. Proportionally, if you change the size from 41 to 42, you have to increase the thickness. So if you look at the thickness, is also quite thick. Quite thick, proportionally thicker. Okay. All right, let's move on to the bezel. Now, this is a pretty cool thing. The bezel is a fluted bezel. Nothing special about that other than it's a beautiful, iconic bezel that Rolex uses. But what is special is that they call this the command ring. The command ring is actually a way that you can set the annual calendar without having, for example, if you look at Patek or some other brands, you have to use a pusher or some button. Rolex ingeniously set it so that you can adjust the annual calendar by using the command ring. Now, I'm not going to go through it all in this video because it's not a how-to video. It's going to take up too much of the time. But let's just suffice it to say that you can change the calendar using the command ring. Okay, which is a pretty cool thing. And then so the bezel looks awesome, and it actually has a function. It's the only bezel that turns. There used to be an old watch called the turnograph that actually turned, but I'm not really sure what the purpose of the bezel turning was for. But at any rate, it's a beautiful yellow gold fluted bezel. There you have it. Okay, let's look at the dial. Now, the dial definitely is something special. Rolex calls this a bright green dial. Okay, I just call it green dial. And green dial, what is the color of green? Everybody knows it's the color of money. So, at least in USA. All right, so It's a great color, and it's Rolex's color. Rolex's color is green. If you look at their website or anything they have, it's all green, and then with a gold symbol of their crown. So this is the Rolex colors. This is your prototypical beautiful Rolex color. I really like the bright green. I think it pops really well against the yellow gold. No other metal has it. They don't use this bright green in the white gold or the rose gold, and rightfully so, because it just makes most sense with this yellow gold as a backdrop. Okay, and since we're looking at this dial, we should probably explain what these are. 1 through 12, the little red dot signifies the month, January through December. That disc in the center is a 24-hour GMT hand that you can tell a time in another time zone, and then you have the date 1 through 31 on the right. So yeah, it's an annual calendar GMT basically. Pretty cool, and it has very legible luminescent hour markers, which the old Sky-Dwellers, they used Roman numerals, which was totally illegible. It was impossible to read and actually kind of sucked. But now they figured out, you know what, we need to make this watch legible so people can actually read the time, and it is very legible now. It looks great. Okay, moving on to the bracelet. The bracelet is an Oysterflex bracelet. Only the watches that have rubber bracelets go on a precious metal, you know, and I guess they just do that to keep the prestige of the Oysterflex bracelet, so you know that it's a precious metal when you see it on the Oysterflex. The Oysterflex is not more than just a rubber bracelet. It's actually over molded. There's actually steel inside this rubber that keeps it having the form, and it has these little air pocket gills that allow the air to flow and not exactly sit hard against your wrist and sort of sit flush above it. And it's just a really well done way, and I think the I don't know, I just have to say they did a great job. It's a patented longitudinal cushion system that stabilizes the watches on the wrist, so that makes it doesn't move around, and it also allows the air to go out. And I can also say that the glide lock system on the buckle is very well done. It's you can change the length by 15 millimeters in increments of 2.5. Now, just to give you some background here, you know, like when you have a leather watch by Patek Philippe, for example, each hole is separated by 6 millimeters. Sometimes those holes are too small or too big. You're in between sizes, and then you end up having to buy a half link or punch a hole in the leather. You know, it's kind of messy, and it's kind of a retarded way, to be honest, to set it up. But Rolex is very smart. They make the distance only 2.5, so that means basically you will get the exact fit on here because of this Oysterflex. And if that's not big or small enough, you can even change the rubber strap. But so basically what I'm trying to tell you is they did a great job. The watch is guaranteed you to fit well, very well. All right, now let's move on to the movement here. Now, Rolex did change the movement to make it a much better movement. What exactly was wrong with the other one, to be honest, I don't know. But the old one was caliber 9001, the new caliber is 9002. Thing is, you can't really see it anyways, so I'm not sure what else is so good, but I'm sure something's good. Okay, 72-hour power reserve, and it's a Rolex movement. Okay, now time to try this watch on my wrist and give my thoughts. Now, look, I'm going to tell you my thoughts. I'm a fan of the Sky-Dweller. I like it that it's a complicated looking Datejust. It's a 42, it's larger for those who have a larger wrist, and it's in the configuration that it is in right now. I would say this is my favorite configuration. Green dial. I mean, you can't go wrong with a green dial on yellow gold. It's the best combination you can get. There's many other combinations, nothing quite like this one. So it's selling way above retail though, at least as of 25. Retail is, I want to say, like 40, let me check it out real quick. 47.1K USD. So that's going to cost you a little over 50. But you know, it's selling a little bit above retail, but you know, it's to be expected. This watch is a green dial, so a lot of people want this. Okay, look, if you want to buy it, go to jazztime.com.
If you want to find out more about the watch you just saw in the video, you can just click below on Show More to see the full description. Then you can check the link next to model as seen in video, click on it, and you will get to the proper page where you can see all the details. If you're watching on a mobile phone, you have to click on the arrow down on the right hand side below the video to see the full description. If you like this video, please give us a thumbs up. If you would like to share this video with your friends, you can use the share button below and share it on any platform you like. If you have questions, constructive feedback, want to tell us about some mistakes or misspeaks, just write a comment below. If you want to see more videos like this, you should subscribe to our channel and visit our channel page where you can find all the videos. And if you're interested in a specific watch brand, you can check out our playlists If you want to check the price for a watch or want to buy one, remember at jazztime.com you always get a steep discount, so you should check the prices with us. If you want to know the price for a specific watch, just go to Google, type in JazzTime, plus the brand, model and the details you're interested in, and Google will find the right page for you. Thank you for watching.